The Carolina Panthers recently welcomed a new quarterback for the day, 7th grader Jace Garland, as his wish from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Yes. Could have been Bat Kid, decided to usurp Bryce Young. The Panthers are one of 9 franchises. Okay, I shouldn't be dunking on kids' Make-A-Wish choices, but anyway. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Trivial. It's your bar trivia night in a podcast. We're covering pop culture, sports, current events, and everything else in the form of trivia questions.
That's right. Each week, we hit you with 5 topics, and here's the catch. None of us know the answers ahead of time. None of us.
No, not us. Not our guest, Hank Stoliker. Not even you. So we're all in it together. We'll throw out our best guesses, debate a bit, and probably embarrass ourselves before revealing the correct answer.
Yes, and if any of us cheat, we are going to have to watch our favorite gym teacher and English teacher get married. Congrats on the engagement today. Breaking news.
Maybe they'll make it together. Maybe not. Yeah. I guess this is what's breaking the internet. This is like a big deal for everyone. How does it make you feel, Hank?
Oh, I'm just waiting I want to see this engagement last through Super Bowl. Then I'll really buy into this. This seems manufactured. We've seen it in the NBA. All of a sudden the Mavs get the #1 pick after trading Luka, and now this seems a little convenient to me.
The wedding officiant's dirty. They've been bribed. Yeah.
Well, so we'll see.
I will say, how much will she be feeling this guy when he inevitably retires next? He has this a abundance of time, and just asking her on all the podcasts, it's not as much fun as being in the box when they're winning Super Bowls.
This is true. We'll see how she is during the bad times. The Chiefs lost to the Bears in preseason, so
he will be starring in movies. He will be starring in movies at the time. He's got a whole second career ahead of him, I think. Third career.
Him and Josh Allen have buddy cop movies with Haley Steinfeld or something. Yeah, it'll be.
I like Josh Allen. He's like a big Labrador. I can get behind that. But
he's very much the Ted Lasso of players, right? He feels like,
sure.
Everything I'm seeing on Hard Knocks. Are you watching Hard Knocks, Hank?
I haven't watched all of it yet. One of my friends is a cinematographer on it, though. So I remember last season on the Bears, he was posting about it, and that was a dream. But I'll have to watch this year's too. I like Hard Knocks.
Well, I know you're a Bears fan, so I feel like you would appreciate how you can watch Hard Knocks and every team is automatically 100% going the distance. They're the best team ever. Love all these players. And then you get smashed with week 1 realities. But
you got to put that narrative on it.
Yeah, I didn't need Hard Knocks to feel that way about the Bears. I think that every goddamn year. It's the plight of being a Bears fan, unfortunately. So
is Chicago home for you, Hank, originally?
Oh, yeah. I grew up a couple blocks south of Wrigley, so downtown.
Nice. From St. Louis.
Oh, nice. St. Louis is fun city too. Although we gave you all that beer, there's that whole rivalry with Budweiser and Budweiser and something else. I don't know. I used to be a tour guide right out of college. We made a whole joke about it. So
we're just in Chicago's shadow. All the time growing up. Yeah,
just downriver, you get all the green residue after St. Patty's Day. Yeah,
right. The occasional one of those rubber duckies makes it down there after they don't get it. They drop the rubber ducks in the river once a year too.
Yeah.
Our bad.
Oh, Josh, I know all about those rivers in Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Hank, fun story. Maybe we tell it too often, but we were at a bachelor party in Chicago, one of the architecture tours. Was that the kind of tour guide you were? No.
I was a bicycle tour guide. So we lead groups of like 40 people, but it was right next to the architecture tours. Those are great.
Got it. Well, I made the brilliant idea, or we did, of holding on to the bottom of one of the bridges as we were going under. And everyone just saw me like the Exorcist go from the front of the boat all the way to the back of the boat. And I let go just in time. And it just was like a slow motion. Definitely a good TikTok if that was a TikTok back in the day. But we were in the Vine era. It could have worked.
I didn't want to have to do this, Josh, but I'm morally obligated to place you under citizen's arrest on behalf of the people of Chicago for those antics. So we'll be talking later. Don't worry about it.
Oh, a sequel to The Fugitive, Josh.
Yeah,
exactly.
Keep my city safe.
Yeah.
Give me back my wife. That's a different
Give me back my wife. She's dead.
That's a different Yeah, I'm mixing up my Harrison Fords.
I didn't
Anyway,
kill my wife.
Yeah, that I didn't
Yeah.
kill my wife. There we go.
Give me back my wife. Do you know what's going on, sir?
yeah, yeah.
The famous
This
Tommy
is also
Jones
the
one.
fugitive with dementia. It would be like he's reliving the entire first movie in the sequel, and we just have a modern day Harrison Ford.
That might be the shtick we didn't know we needed for the sequel. So pitch it.
Oh yeah.
Anything
Right.
goes. Throw it into ChatGPT. Hank,
Mhm.
we know each other before you were a tour guide from
Oh
college.
yeah,
Y'all
that's
went.
right.
We went to the UW, but we went to the University of
way.
Wisconsin. Go
Yeah,
Badgers! Go
go
Badgers!
Badger.
Do you feel like you got a decent education? Would you trade it in now? What might
Mm.
have you learned that got you wildly ambitious enough to invest way too early into cryptocurrency and that paying off?
Oh boy. As far as Wisconsin, best collegiate experience money can buy. Did I learn a lot? No. Was that my fault? Yes. Definitely drank way too much, smoked way too much weed in college. But the friends I made along the way made it all worthwhile. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, Wisconsin's the best. Like Madison's the greatest college town in the world for my dollar. I've been to all the big ones. So yeah, love Madison. As far as crypto, I got into it like back in 2016 for all the reasons everybody does initially, because they're like, this does what? It's gone up this much. What? So I was like, okay, I want to get in. So I ordered a Bitcoin miner offline from China, and I started running it out of a place I was working at the time. And the problem was the place I was working, I had like a studio. I was like the media director for this company. And I didn't have any windows though, because it was a studio, but it had those kind of popcorn ceilings you could push through. So what I had to do was, because Bitcoin miners are two things, notoriously loud and they create a ton of heat. So I made like a soundproof box and I funneled all the air up into the ceiling of my like office building, and I would just run it all the time until a couple months in, my boss comes in and he opens the door and he just gets hit with all this heat and he's like, why is it so fucking hot in here? And I go, it must be the studio lights. He's like, okay, whatever. And then he leaves. And then after that, I was like, yep, I got to get rid of this, repackaged it up, sold it back to China. That was that. It was fun.
Yeah,
Okay. I was picturing a person in this room.
you're like
Just
a
me.
miner
Yeah. I was
No.
like, no. Oh my God.
in the mines.
Yeah. It's like, I'm trying to get some work done over here. Come on.
No, he's
It's
just
like,
in a
who is
tank
this
top
guy?
doing his usual job, but it's like January. But actually, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like Bathhouse and some other places are utilizing the fact that like, wait, this thing gives off so much heat. So now I'm going to make a spa that is heated by these like servers.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen people heat their house with them.
His
Juiced, yeah,
bathhouse heated by servers?
by crypto,
Yeah.
apparently, allegedly. That's why they're like bullish and like you'll see them advertising now because they have crypto money being like, yo, but this is a good use case or whatever, right?
Yeah, Nordic
Man.
countries, they do it. People will do it for the whole house, and it's a pretty sweet deal. And like over 50% of crypto is mined right now is through renewable energy resources anyway. So that used
really?
to be the big stigma. It was like, oh, it's killing the
Sure.
planet. No, it's actually not.
Wow. The questions haven't even started yet, and I'm already learning trivia.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm interested. I will say before we get in, my MO is I had 5 Bitcoins at
Ooh.
$25
Oh,
and
had? Oh, I
you
am
know,
so
because
sorry.
listen, I was making $40,000 a year. There is no reality where I wasn't like, oh shit, this is up to $300. Fuck yeah, I'm good. And then it went up, and I'm like, well, I missed the boat. Just never gonna bet. It's like the
Yeah.
boat keeps rising, and you're just like, well, can't get. So it's just a mentality. But when I'm like unemployed every Thanksgiving of my 20s, post elections, it felt like let me just take this small
Yeah.
profit and run. But
Hard to have diamond hands back
early
then.
adopter and
It is.
early to leave the party before it got good, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like you Irish exited. I do that very often in social situations, so I get the appeal. And unit bias is very real. Everybody thinks they're late, but I'm like, bro, if I told you a stock is going to 10x in the next 10 years, you would throw all the money you have at it. And that's what's happening right now. So that's kind of like part of what I do is trying to educate people that like, yo, we are still early. And that's the truth.
The Trivial Podcast is not an advice podcast. You enter at your own risk. Let me just read some more of the fine print here. And we own 3% of any advice that you do take from us.
Yeah, we will take tips. That's for sure. Tips and tips. So let's get to the first question. This one is usually a little easier. We got our friend Quiz Liz who does these. So literally, we don't know the answers either.
Quiz Liz.
Though, as I read it, I know the answer. Cracker Barrel has faced outrage for stripping away its American identity by changing their logo this week. So what image was removed from the logo in the redesign?
The only thing I can imagine is in the image is some kind of cracker or a barrel of crackers. I don't actually know what's in the image.
I mean,
do you guys know?
You haven't driven by one of those off the highway and you're like, wait a tick.
I don't know if I've ever been to a cracker
You've
barrel.
never been?
Really?
Oh.
I know. I was always more like a Bennigan's guy.
Oh, yeah. I fuck with Bennigan so hard. I miss them. R.I.P. I could drink their honey mustard sauce.
Oh, dude.
Even
Fridays. I liked Fridays. They were a good birthday spot.
Loved Fridays. I loved Applebee's back in the day, especially when they had like all the pop culture, American nostalgia everywhere where it was like very kitschy. I was into it.
Yeah.
Applebee's, I still measure the quality of a relationship of can I take them to an Applebee's on a Friday night and still have a good time, like in the heart of Brooklyn or whatever.
Downtown Brooklyn Applebee's.
Yeah, but it was 2 for $25 now on you get an appetizer, you get 2 entrees. They are like paying you to. Where in the world right now can you get that much collateral for $25? It's disturbing, and it's aggressively decent.
It makes it feel aggressively disgusting that it's so cheap, right? Like it's almost too cheap. I can't believe that it's any good.
Sometimes when food's that cheap, you're like, wait a second, what is this? What's in here?
There's 3 E's on the beef. I think that's like it's like, I don't know.
Got sent back from Iraq rations or something. Like that in there.
Like the MREs are packaged now into McNuggets. Yeah.
Best
Cracker
before
Barrel.
end of Bush 1?
Preservatives, man. They keep stuff.
Shit.
It's good. For Kosovo, with love. So Cracker Barrel has an iconic dude on the logo, along with, you're right, a barrel. The dude is Uncle Hershaw or something like that, I think is his name. And they just went clean, like minimalist, like everything else that has no soul. The same reason less cars out there right now have color, if you've not noticed. Like everything is kind of Appleifying, minimalizing to the least bothersome to people, right? So it's just
grayscale, man. Everything's going grayscale.
Yeah.
So yes, and did you know
an
that?
Old man in a barrel?
So who's gone? Is the guy gone or is the barrel gone?
He's dead. Both.
Yeah.
Oh, what did they replace it with?
They got rid of the man and they sent the barrel into a non-binary bathroom, and
Josh,
that's it. It's just the words. It's just Cracker Barrel. It's clean. It's not bad. If that was how it started, you would just be like, oh, that is it. But the folksy charm is gone.
Lose the old man in the barrel. It's cleaner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It seems the move is they just need to hire Sydney Sweeney and have her be the spokesgirl for Cracker Barrel going forward. And I think
Sydney in the barrel, throw her over Niagara Falls. That's American AF.
Oh man, God bless her. She's such a talented actress.
Yeah,
she's got her moments.
I mean, I think her and Glenn Powell are really having some moments, and that's not just because they did a bad rom-com together.
That's true.
Based on Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Really?
She's in one of the weirdest movies ever seen, though. It's the worst first half, followed by maybe one of the best / redeeming second halves I've ever seen. You ever heard? It's called Voyeurs. No. And it's about her and her like boyfriend moving to an apartment, and across the street they see this other couple who are like going at it all the time, and they keep like getting wrapped up into this world. Almost unwatchable first half, incredible twist. The second half that like kind of makes it worth it.
Weird, wild stuff.
It is weird.
Okay, well let's get into a little music, a little not our kind of music, to be honest, but Mamma Mia is returning to Broadway after 11 years. It's not that long. You could have let Mama take a couple more years off. But anyway, the ABBA members Benny Andersson and Bjorn Ulvaeus also wrote the music to this show, returning to Broadway in 2025, that starred Leah Michele and Aaron Tveit. Tveit? Yeah. So it's a Broadway question, which I am leaning on Alan as the actor. So it came out this year.
It came out this year?
It says it's the ABBA members that wrote Mamma Mia also wrote this play returning to Broadway in 2025. Starring Leah Michele of Glee fame and whatever other
some
stuff.
other person.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I don't know Broadway.
No, I saw Glengarry Glen Ross with Bill Burr. That was the last thing I saw.
That was the last thing I saw too.
I know.
How was that?
Mary. It was. We've had thoughts. It's like if it wasn't for Bob Odenkirk and the stunt casting, I'm just like, I don't know why you bring this back. But also, you're stuck only thinking about it from the context of the film. So I was like, okay, good for you guys for doing this. Nothing earth shattering. Didn't really have any powerful, memorable moments, but Kieran Culkin was in it too. Like everybody was good. It just
everybody was really good.
Like,
it lived in the shadow of the movie. I hate comparing it to the movie, but I love that movie so much. It kind of like even down to the casting kind of felt like it was like almost like
ABC. Always be cryptoing. They didn't say it. They didn't say it in the play.
There you go.
Got to adapt it.
Line I was waiting for.
That's
the biggest line I was waiting for.
And isn't Alec Baldwin kind of a scene stealer in the movie? Like, how do you?
Yeah, and his role is not
like, yeah.
He's not. No, he's not in the show.
Oh, he's not? I thought that was a double for
his role. That role was written for the movie. It was a play, and they wrote the Alec Baldwin scene for the movie, and so he's just like not in the play. Yeah.
I would have taken even like Billy Baldwin in the play version. I wanted a Baldwin.
That just screams too much desperation. Billy Baldwin, come on.
Damon Wayans Baldwin Jr. is who I need to see.
Any Wayans brother, I'm cool with. Those guys can't do wrong. I mean, White Chicks, that was like the movie of my collegiate career.
Wow, really?
I do actually remember you having an outsized love for that comedy.
Oh, dude. Apparently they're making a sequel. They're making a sequel. That's what they've come out and say. It's a gem. I love it. And Terry Crews. Terry Crews got his biggest break there. So
that was big. Well, we're never going to get this. So the correct answer is, of course, chess. Yeah. No, Anya Taylor-Joy in this one. No. It's apparently a musical surrounding the events of the Cold War era chess tournament between America and the Soviets. Cool.
Can't wait to forget that exists.
Yeah.
Chess, the musical.
Yep.
Okay.
Moving on to true crime.
You're
okay.
Hey, true crime.
The Menendez brothers were both denied parole, partially for rule infractions that have occurred in prison.
Oh.
That you're not allowed to use a shotgun on someone?
Yeah, it's not a decathlon. So, Eric Menendez was skilled in what sport growing up, ranking 44th in the U.S. at the junior level?
I think I remember I've watched the docs on this. I feel like it was it maybe tennis? I feel like it was tennis.
Because they were like rich Beverly, I don't know about Beverly Hills, but like the Hills kids, like I could see them getting tennis lessons.
They were affluent for sure.
Yeah.
I think it was tennis. I kind of remember it maybe being tennis.
So I don't remember if there was a joke in that Andy Samberg like short film on HBO about like tennis. It was like with Jon Snow or something. I don't know if it was about them, but I feel like there was a joke about them. So it's confirming to me, because like really when you talk about it from that framing, right, of ranking 44th, unless it was like a pitcher, it's really a single person sport, which sounds like you're going to be a golfer or a tennis person. And he feels Tennessee to me. Yeah.
He does feel Tennessee.
Yeah. And he's like a white kid, so from New York, so he's probably not like a basketball or football guy. If he's in inner city New York, that's unlikely.
You know who I thought
think it
they
was down
looked
there.
like when I was really like, I was very young when that was happening, but they both had this, or maybe one of them had the same haircut as like Paul Reiser.
Yes,
Like
they
I
do have
really
kind of
thought
Paul
that they
Reiser.
like looked, and I didn't like really know who Paul Reiser was. It just kind of
like
looked like
mad
a couple
about you,
photos.
like really, really mad about you. Yeah.
Yeah. You know where I thought this question was going was, did you see they're on the back of that Hoops basketball card? I thought you were going to ask who the player was on the Hoops basketball card. Have you guys seen that?
No, you thought
No.
like they were like box seats or like
They're
courtside?
courtside the day after the murders. And in the background, I
Oh,
have this card of a
Wow.
Mark Jackson New York Knicks Hoops NBA card. You can see them sitting courtside in the background. You can like buy it offline and stuff.
That's
for
a
10 or 15.
that's better than a
and
Charizard.
are they
I
both
would
going
totally-
like?
yeah.
No, they are totally unfazed. They are in the game. They seem like they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So
They're being good fans.
yeah, the best.
Well, the correct answer
They beat the shot clock.
is indeed tennis.
Hey, it's
That's
tennis.
an ace
All
for us.
right.
We got it.
Right. Tennis
All right.
strong, baby.
Nice job, Hank.
Well,
Thank
folks,
you.
it's time for our shots round.
Already.
Yeah. Just like a real trivia night, this is your chance to shout out the answer in the comments if you are listening. And if you're right, you just might win something special. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So Hank, with our shots, do you go to trivia? By the way, are you like a
I used to
host?
I hosted trivia for 5 years in Chicago.
He knows.
So
He knows.
I have a little bit of experience.
Where did you host?
Yeah.
A couple places. I did for a company called What Do You Know? And my main bar was Justin's in Wrigleyville. It was great. I did like 30 teams a night there. So we would pack the place out and then I would pick up other spots all around the city. It was great. I make like $200 a night back in like, the 2010. And I was on
Yeah,
some mic
like
for 2 hours. It was great.
$350. Yeah.
For hosting
Yeah.
trivia, it's a great. And I'm assuming it was like you're getting paid cash.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's such a great, like, especially for that age. Like I'm rich.
It was great. I was biking there. It was great. I knew everybody, and there's like a psychological element if you're a guy hosting trivia, because like the girls would, the way ours would work, they'd have to come up and put the answer in like a basket in front of you every time. So when you'd have like women coming up to you psychologically, it like put you in this weird pedestal, like position of power. So
Yeah.
like as like a young guy, I was like, this is
Trivia lifeguard?
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much trivia lifeguard. It was great.
It's true. Every guy falls in love with
freaking,
Quizliz every episode
Will's
that we do.
Northwoods Inn. How about that?
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
Wisco bar. I've been to their.
yeah.
They have like a Wisconsin thing in the middle of the middle of the year. Yeah,
My
very
Lord
Wisco
and
bar.
Savior, for sure.
So what
Alright.
we've been doing, Hank, is like our version of this is we have a sponsor and we ask a question that's for the audience. They can drop the answer into the comments. And I guess like the first person who does gets to win a little prize from our sponsor, which is
Thesis.
Thesis.
Yes. TakeThesis.com. If you use promo code Josh15, that's 15% off. But the first person to get this right will get 1 month of drugs from me delivered to your door. It's basically supplements that are alternatives to what I am just going to go out on a limb and say maybe you use, Hank, of Adderall.
No, I'm free and clear these days,
You're
man. But
free.
I can attest to Josh's ability to drop drugs at your door. He's the best. Everyone says so.
Yeah.
We got
yeah.
him.
So.
We got him.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Swarm.
No. But, for those who are trying to not be as reliant on Adderall, like I think 1 in 8 Americans, this is like sort of like that mushroom coffee version of like, let's tone it down a bit. Let's not give you the jitters. Let's give you some natural stuff. A lot of lion's mane in it and such. So anyway, check it out. Thesis. And the question last week was, how many confirmed moons are there in our solar system, including those circling dwarf planets, i.e. Pluto? The correct answer. You want to throw out a quick one, Hank?
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. I don't know.
More than
11.
one.
I'm going to guess like 1,200.
Yeah, it seems like
Okay.
it'd be a big number.
Well, Hank wins because you went over. The correct answer is 891. 891 moons all around.
Come on, Alan, get it together.
How
It's a
dare
deep-
you? Because I
Deep
went
universe, I guess, once you get past there. And this
Jesus.
question for viewers here, listeners here, the U.S. Census has a diversity index, a DEI index that is sure to not last through this next couple years, which is the probability that if two random people meet, they will be of different races or ethnicities. So that's how it's a diversity index. Which state has the highest diversity index in the 2020 census?
Oh.
Don't guess it. But I will say, you have a 1 in 50, maybe 51 chance of getting this right. So you could just spam it, but don't cheat. Don't Google. Don't chat.
That's the state probability index that Josh just cited.
Yes, yes. And now we'll move over to sports.
Can I just say quickly, I worked for the I worked for the 2010 census in
an
LA.
enumerator?
Oh, wow.
I wasn't going door to door to do the actual census. It was like before the count, they gave us some sort of like GPS device and talk about like easy jobs. Like I just moved to LA. I basically just walked around with a GPS device confirming that like 1400 Van Nuys Boulevard, yes, it's still a residential building. Or no, now it's a commercial building. Or if it was residential, it was my job to find a way to like get in and count how many units that were there. So it was all this like pre-work ahead of the count. So that the census takers would be like, oh, I know that there's like 100 units in this building. So like that's how many like different. It wasn't interesting.
You paid good and you did your civic duty, and that's something we've been doing since our founding fathers got here. They're like, well, in order to do good here, we got to know what we got. And so, yeah. Enumerator, also just a great word that only gets used once every 10 years. So
it's true. I hear.
Respect our
sports.
Enumerators.
The Carolina Panthers recently welcomed a new quarterback for the day, 7th grader Jace Garland, as his wish from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Yes. Could have been Bat Kid, decided to usurp Bryce Young. The Panthers are one of 9 franchises. Okay. I shouldn't be dunking on kids' Make-A-Wish choices. But anyway.
I wouldn't be dunking on Bat Kid specifically.
Bat Kid is doing good. Bat Kid's good.
I
think he's good.
I'd aim higher than the Panthers, though. Like, let's get a good franchise.
I would totally. Yeah. The Panthers are one of 9 franchises who have let at least one player receive each of the 6 annual NFL Players Awards. So name 2 of the other teams who have won all 6 annual NFL Player Awards. It's a great question.
Oh, that is a good question. 2 franchises. Well, you'd probably think there'd be 2 of the older ones, right? Just because they got math on their side. So it makes me think like Green Bay and even Chicago, like Walter Payton probably won an MVP or something, right?
Well, so if we're thinking about the player awards, you got Rookie of the Year on offense and defense. You got Comeback Player of the Year. I assume MVP is being included on this. So like, that's why you immediately would say like, oh, Tom Brady Patriots. But then you're like, well,
that was
defense 2, rookies 2, like you got to sweep them. Oh, well, not all in the same year.
Not all in one year.
All time. Yeah.
They received 1 each. Okay. Then yes, you're right. I think you got to think dynasties that have had a couple waves for a couple different reasons.
Which, by the way, Josh, this is how you figured out one of the sports question last week. Whatever it was about baseball. Yeah. They're talking about just like thinking older team because time's on their side.
Well, I will go ahead and say the Patriots have enough reasons you would think they would have it. I think that Baltimore Ravens would be good because they had this iron defense in the 2000s with Ray Lewis. They then have all of the Lamar stuff now.
Short franchise window, though. Because they were the Browns, and then they converted to the Ravens. So I don't know if you're counting that old Browns team, because the Ravens have really only been around for like 25, I think 30, probably 30 years at this point.
Yeah.
But not to say, because Lamar, you had... what's his face was the linebacker who was dominant. Ray Lewis was a stud.
Yeah.
He was killing them back then.
I think the Rams might have one too. I mean, you have Eric Dickerson, Marshall Faulk, Kurt Warner won multiple MVPs.
Yeah. Well, you said it right there with Kurt. I think Kurt sweeps a bunch of them in that 1 year, and they had Marshall Faulk, and they had
Eric Dickerson.
Defense.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm trying to think who their defender would be.
Kurt and his wife used to frequent my movie theater. Shout out Clarkson 6. RIP to the Clarkson 6 as well.
Kurt used to bag my groceries at Hy-Vee in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Shout out UNI, Northern Iowa Panthers. Okay. Yeah, let's go Rams. And
I feel like the Bears, man. We have more Hall of Famers somehow than any franchise in existence, and we're one of the like original teams.
That's such a Bears attitude to think.
That's all we got. That's all we got.
You had one year, 1986. You've had more. I really feel like Rams are good. I would suggest we put the Patriots in there because they are a storied franchise, and they are for so freaking long. If they don't have them, it's more of a gotcha, right? But and I don't want to mention the Cowboys, but they obviously were very good for some time too.
The Niners, they've been around forever. You had Montana. I'm trying to think defenders though. I mean, they have good defenders now, but I don't remember them winning any defensive.
Yeah, as a Niners fan, I am not including mine because I know we had the comeback player when like Garrison Hurst or Frank Gore like came back from crazy injuries, but
that's the hard one. I don't know comeback players. Like who has any idea what a comeback player is? So what are we thinking here then?
We've said a couple, but I feel bullish on Patriots and Rams. I think the Rams is a good consensus one. And then you are suggesting potentially the Bears, which I
feel like, because I think Urlacher won Defensive Player of the Year 1 year. I bet Sweetness won an MVP during his run. So those are the two big ones, right? You got to get out of there. And probably an Offensive Player of the Year thing. Rookie of the Year, Rashaan Salam, I think won his rookie year in like the 90s. He was a running back. Rest in peace, Rashaan. He passed away. I like Rams and Bears, but I could be persuaded if someone else has another idea that makes
Alan,
sense.
tiebreak. Patriots or Bears?
Oh God. I guess I would choose Patriots between the two.
All right, let's do it.
Okay,
right, Patriots and Rams.
Should not have been given the tiebreaker.
Answer: Rams.
Okay.
Dolphins.
Okay.
Bills.
Yeah. Bills. Okay.
Colts.
Cowboys.
The Packers. Broncos. And the Patriots.
All right, good job. Boy,
nice.
Bears letting me down again.
Trust the Bears fan.
Also,
it's true, man.
Through the course of that, I forgot that there were like 6 possible answers. I thought we were like locked into 2.
Yeah.
I wonder who the Patriots defensive player was. Must have been an old one. I can't think of anybody. Like
Teddy Bruschi.
Was it Bruschi?
I don't know. I don't have that info on hand, but okay, we got a current events question. The president has deployed the National Guard multiple times in recent months, including in Los Angeles over the objection of the California state government and more recently in DC. So now we're talking about Chicago, we're talking about New York. It's just kind of a lot of imposition on state rights. So before the deployment in California, who was the last president to deploy the National Guard to a state over the protests of a state government? So basically, please don't come. And then the president's like, hold my beer.
I'm going to come.
Yeah. Everybody's saying I should come. Please don't. Really, we were good. Everybody's saying it. Everybody's saying it.
Patriots' only defensive player was Stephon Gilmore.
Oh, okay.
2019.
He was good. Yeah.
Are you suggesting President Stephon Gilmore was the last to deploy the National Guard?
That'd be wild.
So, 2 things that come to mind are: was it the National Guard at Kent State when those
that would make
got
sense.
Killed?
That would be 69.
That's
maybe
LBJ.
It feels like a Nixon thing to me, but I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I think if it was 69, it would be Nixon, but LBJ is right around there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Nixon was president when we landed on the moon.
Weren't there like protests at Wisconsin, and wasn't that why that media building was built all weird? Was like an anti-protest architecture?
That was like the legend lore of like why this brutal building had been humanities was like that. And
Yeah.
you're right. But that's the kind of thing, like, you hear about the Columbia protests, you hear about Kent State, you hear about, but it was like, obviously everybody wasn't exactly happy about a draft for, Nam.
But was it a National Guard response at Kent State, right? Wasn't it?
I don't know. The thing is it was definitely overreach of their police, but it wasn't necessarily that the National Guard was there.
Right. I'm not sure about that. And then the other incident that comes to mind is Eisenhower sending in the National Guard when they desegregated schools.
Right. Don't they detail that in Forrest Gump? I'm pretty sure that's like one of the cutaway scenes.
It was my idea to send the National Guard to protect those poor kids.
God bless him, an American hero, that Forrest.
Yeah,
he really had our back. Does. Yeah. You want to go Eisenhower, or you want to go?
I feel like National Guard, because I don't know if it was them that. I'm not implying that I know it was them that killed those students, but I feel like there was some sort of National Guard response. I don't know.
I'm leaning on you two for this one. Josh, I feel like this is in your wheelhouse. You're politically involved.
I'm the son of an American historian. U.S. presidents is the game, but it stops around America's Jubilee, the 50-year anniversary. We're coming up on 250 years of this country. But I think I'm a little woozy on the before I was born to post-Civil War.
That's fair.
That's fair.
We'll let it slide.
I am on like who was president in 1968-69 because that feels like a time that something would have gone down. So that would be LBJ or
wait, what about the Sorkin movie, Chicago 7?
Chicago 7?
Did they deploy? Did they deploy National Guard?
But that's still, either way, we're honing in on 68-69. So let's just say who was the best president to do that. Would that be LBJ or Nixon?
LBJ takes the presidency in 63, doesn't run again. So bad at this. No, I'm not so bad at this, but I always get this confused. Nixon? Is it really Nixon? That just seems so easy.
Too easy.
It feels like a Nixon thing, but I have no idea. Nixon kind of did whatever the hell he wanted, it seemed like.
Well, he didn't get to do it
when
too
you're
long.
President, they let you do it.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Okay, well, I think we go Nixon. Okay.
Fine.
The correct answer. But for reasons none of us were getting to, which will make sense when I say it, he took control of the National Guard in Alabama in 1965 to have troops protect the Civil Rights March from Selma to Montgomery.
Oh. Okay.
So if you're watching a different movie called Selma, maybe we would have had that. Surprisingly that nothing's happened since, but yeah, that makes sense where maybe the Alabama governor was like, no, we're good. This is fine. And then they had to be like, no, we gotta do something about that. So
thank you, LBJ.
Yeah. Thanks, okay. Well, listen, we did pretty good. We're doing pretty good. I think we can really redeem ourselves with Hank's leadership here in the lightning round.
Oh God.
We're already at the lightning round.
Yeah. These are the questions that are tailored to you. And so they are about crypto. Why don't you tell us why we're asking about crypto? What do you host a show that's very popular on Rumble and Twitter and X and everywhere else you find your pods and streams.
Wherever you choose to doom scroll, we're there. So the platform is called Roxom TV. It's essentially, we're trying to kind of be the Bloomberg of the crypto space, specifically though Bitcoin, because we're very much, there's Bitcoin and then there's everything else, right?
Yeah.
I host a show every weekday morning called The Blockchain Report. And it's great. We get to interviewing top names in the space all the time. And we're providing what is known in the community as signal. And signal is like the freshest, most accurate news of the given time, because we're really all about, in a world where people are always trying to make evergreen content, we're kind of having to do the opposite. Our stuff is perishable because you need to know this stuff about what's going on right now, because the Bitcoin space is blowing up. And I can tell you guys, I see it happening every day. I'm talking to top people in the government. I talked to the Mooch about it a couple months ago in an interview. CIOs of companies, like, it's getting integrated everywhere. And you're still early. We're still so shockingly early despite those high price targets. And I was hired to hopefully make it a little bit more accessible to broader audiences. Been doing it for about 7 months and it's great.
Well, it all
So
sounds a lot harder to get at the beginning. Like anything, when you're low information and then you think you have a ton of information, that's where the danger zone is. So it's nice that you can actually get people through that 101 period, and they don't
Yeah.
have to be miners in the basement of where they work, overheating.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Even my mom has a pretty good understanding of Bitcoin now. I always say, like, I'm always asking people, explain it to me like you would explain it to your Mima or something.
Well,
So yeah,
Mima is crushing it. So
Mima's portfolio is doing
kind of along the lines of it being so new, I've always been curious, like, as it stands right now, is there a city, is there a place in the world, like, is it SF, is it New York, is there a place where, like, you feel like is like the hub of crypto, or is that kind of the whole point that
Lisbon.
there isn't?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, so we actually have 3 studios. Our main hub is in San Fran, tech capital of the world still to many, right? And a lot of big crypto companies are out here. We have another one in London because that's kind of the European hub. And then our third studio we just opened up is in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is kind of known as the Asian crypto hub. I wouldn't say anybody is
Why can't you
definitively
just call
the
it Crypto Hub?
I was petitioning for that, but they're really stuck on that Hong Kong name. There are lots of new countries, though, kind of jockeying to position themselves as such. Hong Kong's been doing the best job of it, I think, internationally so far. But, you know, it's a world thing. This is supposed to be the world's medium of exchange that works outside of government intervention so that, you know, when GameStop goes crazy next time or like something similar happens, Robinhood can't freeze you out because you physically are able to hold your money and you don't have to go through banks that are, you know, at the behest of the federal government and things like that. So
Too big to fail or whatever.
yeah. And right now there's 300 million people in the Bitcoin space. There's 800 million people in the world, and there's only 21 million Bitcoin to go around. So even a small fraction of that pie when you in the next 10 years is going to be worth a lot. And it already is. I mean, a tenth of it right now is worth like 11 grand at today's prices.
Well,
Yeah,
I like
it's
what you were
crazy.
saying about having to be in the moment with your reporting. Like you don't get to take your time with it, because I remember when Musk went on SNL being this big thing about to the moon with Doge, and Doge went from 70 cents, which was astronomical for where it usually was. And they were like, will it get to $1 if he mentions it or something on the monologue? By the end of the monologue, it had already dropped 50%. It was like 35 cents or something. So just like that level of volatility is obviously a reason people are very concerned about throwing 401ks in it. But that's the other difference of like, let's talk about Bitcoin as one thing, let's talk about Ethereum as one thing, and let's talk about everything Shiba Inu and below as its own.
Trash. It's all trash.
Yeah. So,
you know,
let's jump into a couple of these questions. I think you're going to be flying through them, actually.
I hope so. Otherwise, my credibility is shot.
I know, right?
We'll see.
I'm going to ask you the most.
Taken down by Quizless.
This one comes from our fan Satoshi Nakamoto. Listeners,
I love that guy.
What is the oldest cryptocurrency?
Well, Bitcoin was the first. The white papers came from Satoshi Nakamoto. So if we're talking about cryptocurrency, I would have to say it's Bitcoin.
That is correct.
Yes.
True or false, 50-50. Profit from cryptocurrency is taxable by the U.S. government.
It is currently, but Trump, don't love a lot of the stuff he does. He is like pushing for that to maybe be a different thing going forward in order to enhance adoption, which he's kind of filling his own pockets with right now. In Puerto Rico, it's not though, but it is in the United States.
Well, follow up. There's no right answer here, but
really?
At this point, well, how does like this administration pave the way for crypto in terms of like, are they able to pick clear winners and losers, or do they just free up regulation? Like, obviously, the crypto industry did have a favorite based on the level of regulation that, you know, the Warrens and Sherrod Browns were talking about. And now that Donald is in and clearly cares about his own grift with his coin, what does it do for like a holder of Bitcoin? How should they be thinking about it?
You know, that's why I try to make, we're really big Bitcoin maxis at our network, because it really is, there's Bitcoin and everything else. Bitcoin is quite literally the equivalent of digital gold, except it's easier to move, it's easier to store, and yeah, it holds value in a better way. And what's crazy is people think about the volatility. They associate crypto and volatility, and they're not wrong. But if you actually look at Bitcoin this year, since Trump has entered office, Bitcoin has been less volatile than the NASDAQ. It has been less volatile than the S&P 5.
Sure.
So The reason is we're having tons of institutional money flooding into the space. ETFs, the IBIT ETF, which is BlackRock, fastest growing ETF in the history of mankind. Okay, so with all this institutional money is coming this stability. But then the problem is people are like, well, where are the swings? I wanted to trade the swings. Am I late? No, it's a smooth up and to the right over time, but you're not going to see those volatile swings within Bitcoin the way we had of years past. And these whole halving cycles that have been baked into Bitcoin forever, which is like the halving happens, which means the reward blocks are halved in size. That is not going to be the same because it's like 98% of Bitcoin has already been mined. So people need to really distinguish there's Bitcoin and there's everything else. If you're chasing high alpha plays, okay, go for that. Do Dogecoin or that trash.
Sure.
It's not the same thing. So
but just like the stock market, that's like, you know, lame fantasy football, right? Like you are 100% gambling when it comes to that stuff most of the time. At least Bitcoin has some level of adoption in that it could be, as you're saying, with ETFs and with what was it, like El Salvador and other places are really trying to say like, okay, well, let's standardize this because what's this versus a piece of paper?
And whoever does it first, just like it's a first mover advantage. It's if we don't do it first, China, Russia is going to do it first. And kind of answer your question a little better, Trump has kind of taken a 2 steps forward, 1 step back for Bitcoin, I think, because he's like doing this grift. He's creating his own coins, right? And he shilled them out to all of his people. And they bought like $5 billion worth in the first 3 days. And then it crashed down. And then there was Ivanka coin. So he's done a lot of good things to push it in the forefront and open up innovation by stripping down some of those laws. Gary Gensler is out. Paul Atkins is in as SEC chair. So that's really like helping promote adoption and innovation and keeping, you know, the smart people that we want working on this here in the United States. But you get these bullshit, what Trump MAGA coin garbage, it's going to affect it also. So we're doing better than we were under Biden, and that, or Bitcoin, I should say, is doing much better. Trump always comes with his problems. And
if
that
you are
is
a
kind of his
single issue Bitcoin voter, this could work for you. But let's say chaotic evil doesn't always work out great in the long run. Let me ask you the third question, because I think it'll help for everything else. And it's kind of impossible for you to get wrong. But cryptocurrency transactions and mining occurs via blockchain. So the question is, what is blockchain?
Yeah, the blockchain is basically a distributed ledger that everybody can see and has access to. And that's really part of the beauty of it. The mining of Bitcoin is what validates and keeps that network secure. If I have your wallet address, I can always see what you're doing. Otherwise, it's just an anonymous wallet address. It's not like Josh Burstein's wallet. But that's what's so beautiful about it is you can't fake the network. It's impossible to break the network because when you mine, you're essentially allocating computing power or energy to secure this very network across the globe so that it's safe for everybody and that we don't have to go through these middlemen like banks that are screwing us with crazy transaction fees. I was in Cambodia 2 years ago and I lost my fucking debit card, right? Sorry, I don't know if I can swear on this. And I couldn't get money. I had to go to Western Union, right? And they charged like 7%. I ended up paying like $100 on $1,500 that was wired to me. Bitcoin, it's a nominal fee, like 0.0 something of a percent. We're getting middled in like remittances payments. If you're working in the US and you want to send money back to your family, and this allows people to work around all of these middlemen that are just nickel and diming us every day. And we just become so accustomed to it, we don't even see it happening. So that's kind of what the blockchain is. It validates the network, it proves that it's secure, and it allows it to be the same for everybody in the world.
Wait, I'm sorry. Now I'm so curious. By the way, Hank, I really appreciate you being on the show because I'm not going to say I understood most of what you've been talking about, but I am learning more about crypto than I knew before. Do you feel like the nature of the blockchain, the nature of the market that you're talking about, do you feel like it's middleman proof? Like middlemen tend to find their way into most things that we have to deal with. Do you foresee in the future that this is something that could like stop a powerful government or some other powerful entity from like wedging themselves into the middle of transactions and charging those huge fees?
You know, I never say never, but that's like the whole point of the blockchain. That the Bitcoin was, the white paper for Bitcoin was created in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis, saying we as a people can't stand for this type of thing to happen again, right? So we're putting the power back into the individuals across the globe. Unless you were like a middleman in the sense that you were helping somebody and doing their transactions for them, because it still can be a little bit intimidating. And that's part of one of the obstacles that the
onboarding of it all
is getting better. Like it needs to be, and it is in some cases as easy as I can point a QR code,
like
buy
Robinhood
Bitcoin.
Is pretty,
Yes, and they've done a nice job of gamification, but it needs to be, for Bitcoin, I think, to truly become what it's destined to be, it needs to be a peer-to-peer transaction of value. Jack Dorsey talks about it all the time. That's why like his company Block is like very integrated into doing that for the future. So once that happens, you know, especially you think about this too, the US is $37 trillion in debt. I think we're supposed to be 1.2 trillion more after this year. It's supposed to be like the worst year on record. The United States government, and I was not a finance guy or really even like a big political guy before I get into this, but you get kind of upset when you see these things happening. They're literally bombing the dollar so that they owe less money to all of their debts across the globe. Because if you bomb the dollar and it's worth less, that $37 trillion hit isn't as bad, especially if the United States starts putting 200,000 Bitcoin on the balance sheet, which they've talked about as like an initiative under Trump's plan going forward. You know, it's a lot easier to pay off those debts. Again, never say never, but I don't think there's really a situation where there'll be a middleman. It really gives the power back to all the individuals and to truly have sovereign money.
I
And
think
that's kind of part of the beauty.
Money in politics that you talk about there is interesting because if you say follow the money, right? Like at least there is, as you're describing, transparency of if every single campaign donation had to be made through blockchain, then all of a sudden you're able to say, oh, well, everything was coming out of this wallet from Sheldon Adelson or something like that. And it's not just mystery buckets of cash. And, you know, it's funny, the anecdote I have from my own experience in terms of I don't understand the middleman of it all with Coinbase is that I got a sign up and you get $5 of Bitcoin in 2013. And then the next time I decided, fine, I'm going to try this stuff, get back in there. They're like, you already have an account, sir. And so I had to like do the whole process to get it back. And it was $1,000. Like it was a free $1,000 sign-on bonus because I had never actually touched the account, but I did that sign-on. But you're just saying like, no, we can't move that money because that money is sitting in that thing until you revived it. And that's there. And the meme I like to challenge you would be someone saying like, the reason I know cryptocurrency isn't real money is because I've never seen anyone advertise for the dollar, like on the side of an arena, right? So what is crypto.com getting out of it? How do we prevent a Sam Bankman kind of heist or negligence?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, those guys were class A knuckleheads, right? They were literally like having Excel spreadsheets to keep track of billions and billions of dollars. And they didn't have reserves that met the money that they were like saying that they had, you know? And you have like Coinbase, which is CEO Brian Armstrong, really smart guy, very legit institution. Like they have, I believe, reserves that have to be available of a certain amount. Otherwise, they can't operate. So it's like you're kind of operating it as like a third-party bank almost. And they do charge a little bit of transaction fees to buy and sell Bitcoin, as it does require energy on the network. So that's fair, but it's nothing like you're getting middled by your bank constantly. So yeah, you know, and also the thing is too, if you have money on Bitcoin, there's a big saying in the business, and if it's not your keys, it's not your coin. So unless you have it on your own, like, you know, ledger wallet, cold storage, it's technically not yours. It's being represented as yours by another company that actually owns it. So that's why like self-custody is super important in this space. And that can be a little scary, right? Like if I have a data stick and I've got 2 Bitcoin on there, that's like 230 grand. And what if I lose that? Right? So there are places you can store your Bitcoin online. One of our biggest sponsors is this bank, Zappo Bank. It's usually for higher net worth individuals, but like there are good banks out there that do securely storage. Like they'll get your Bitcoin, take it on like a cold storage and take it offline. Nobody can touch it, like unless somebody physically went in there with a couple of Tommy guns or something. So yeah, and people always ask, they're like, yo, what's the underlying value behind it? And I'm like, yo, what's the underlying value of American currency? It's not backed by a gold standard. It has worth because we've decided that it does collectively as a people.
Yeah.
And it's not backed by anything anymore. And Bitcoin is backed, honestly, I think the value is in the energy that is required to secure the very network that allows us to trade peer-to-peer safely and securely and sovereignly. So that's always like my answer for that. Did I answer your original question? Sorry, I'm going on a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're doing broad strokes, and I think it's just it's all interesting. And as you said, there's an excitement that it's still on the cusp and still being determined. And I guess I was most curious from your perspective as well, just like how much fat, tiny hand thumbed on the scale a president could be. And if you're, as you're saying, it's going to be happening. This is a global thing.
It's happened.
What does it mean as far as like those projections, as you're saying, of like, well, for me, I'm just like, I buy more when no one's talking about it, other than I guess you every morning. But you know, it's like the pretend. But for me, pretending to understand the science behind it, or be like, this is why Bitcoin is superior, or like why someone could be interested in a Solana because of its capacity to do something. But you're just saying, plain and simple, it's about adoption, and so Bitcoin is very, very different tier one versus everything else.
Yeah, and there's other good projects too. Ethereum and Solana have their use cases, and I have positions in those too. But for me, it's just, again, it's Bitcoin and then everything else. Like I do fervently believe in the next probably 20 years, it's going to overtake the market cap for gold. Gold's market cap's about 20 trillion. Bitcoin right now is about 2.7, I think, or something. It's over 2 trillion. And again, like you don't want to have to carry around gold bars. You don't want to put them in a safe or a safety deposit box, the biggest pain in the butt. This allows you to not have to do that, but actually have the greatest appreciating asset of all time. It's always, here's another stat for you. Any person that's ever owned Bitcoin for over 4 years has never lost money, ever, ever in the history of man. So buy some, I dollar cost average, and I forget about it. I don't trade it. I'm not that smart. I don't read technicals.
You're just setting it, forgetting it. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing you can do. And then by the time, we retire, that Bitcoin easily, I think in the next 10 years, it'll be worth $1 million a coin. I think we could see certain things play out 10 million plus in the next 20 to 30, easy. Like it's crazy.
I feel like, considering last time we hung out, we probably own George Foreman grills. That's the anecdote. Good to kind of bring it back around. Set and forget it is a good mantra for this. Alan, how do you think we did? What's going on?
I think we did pretty well. We learned a lot today, for sure. My apologies to Bat Kid, who I thought was dead, by the way. I'm glad you're doing okay.
You checked. He's good. He's going to college now. He's good. Yeah. At Gotham University. Yeah.
Hank.
It's NYU. I don't know.
Do you want to plug the show again? Where can people, like, if people want to check out your show, where can they check it out?
You can always go to Roxom.tv. That's our main website hub, but people usually watch us live on X. Just go to Roxom TV. It's ROXOM TV. My show is the Blockchain Report. Right now, we've got about 8 hours of original programming. By the end of this year, we're hoping to have 24. So you can go on at any time and see what's happening in Bitcoin. Why is the price what it is? We're there to tell you, and to keep everyone abreast at all time, because this industry is moving quick. So X, YouTube, also a very popular place. And of course, Rumble, where they celebrate freedom like no other, is another place. So pretty much anywhere you'll find us, but X and YouTube and Rumble are the big ones.
Thank you again for everything you're willing to impart today, and for being part of the show. Sorry if we kept you a very long time. I think this is going to be our longest episode, if I'm not mistaken, Josh. In a good way.
There was fun, there was learning, there was backstory, there's nostalgia, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there was a lot of nostalgia, for sure. Well, thank you guys. This has been super fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I guess that is the show, folks. Before you go, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you choose to podcast. I guess you can leave a comment if you want to. Just be normal about it. But I'd like to thank Connor Linneruth for the clips, our trivia director, Quiz Liz, and thank you, the listener. And everybody, see you next week. Thank you again, Hank.
And remember, question everything.